What is Welford Chart Notes? Welford Chart Notes is a full-featured electronic medical record certified for meaningful use, which utilizes advanced artificial intelligence to maximize your efficiency and quality. This video will demonstrate many of its unique features and show why you should choose it over all other electronic medical records. This video will demonstrate the following elements. Ease of navigation. You'll see how easy it is to move back and forth in the patient's medical record and to jump to any section without losing where you were, so you can continue with the existing patient encounter. Welford Chart Notes is designed for efficiency, so creating a complete medical record is possible without distracting the caregiver from the patient's need. Users can follow their own preferred workflow without the restrictions imposed by the structured nature of other products on the market. Type, dictate, use speech recognition, templates, and contractions at any point while documenting each encounter. So let's get started. First, let's look at the natural language interpreter. The natural language interpreter can understand free text that you type into various places in the program. For example, let's try entering a list of medications into a patient's note, dictating it using Dragon Naturally Speaking. Losartan 50 mg PO daily, HCTZ 25 mg PO QAM, tiotropium 1 puff daily. Notice that the moment we finish our sentence, the program offers to automatically update the list of medications, print patient education brochures and prescriptions for these drugs. And if we simply click the Do All button, all of these things take place for us. The natural language interpreter doesn't just automatically interpret your notes in real time for medications. It interprets your notes for all of the information depicted here, such as allergies, diagnoses, test results, orders, referrals, and much more. The natural language interpreter uses a vocabulary system consisting of tens of thousands of terms, including ICD-9, ICD-10, LOINC, and RX norm codes. You can edit the vocabulary yourself, adding synonyms and new terms. The natural language interpreter doesn't just interpret your notes as you're writing them. It is used throughout the program. For example, let's search this patient's notes for the concept of heart. Notice that it finds the word core, which is the same meaning as heart. Each word and phrase is indexed by meaning. You can also use the natural language interpreter to ask a question about how to use the program in your own words, a feature we call Easy Help. How do I record a drugstore? The program takes you to the Help screen, which answers your question, including links to a step-by-step tutorial and training video on this specific topic. You can also use the natural language interpreter to generate reports about your practice. Here we type in a condition in free text that we would like to investigate. Woman on tiotropium and has COPD. So in summary, the natural language interpreter interprets your notes as you type them, updating all parts of the chart automatically using a user-editable vocabulary system. You can search your notes and search help by meaning and write free text queries of your practice data. I am often asked, how do you get the text into your notes? Let's see all the different ways you can accomplish this in Welford Chart Notes. Earlier, we saw that you can simply dictate using Dragon Naturally Speaking. Welford Chart Notes has been tested by Nuance as a supported product for Dragon Medical. Throughout the program, you can also type in abbreviations that we call contractions, which are automatically substituted as you type for words, phrases, sentences, or even paragraphs of information. For example, if we type in PT is a 59YO woman who CO CP for 1WK, we get patient is a 59-year-old woman who complains of chest pain for 1 week. This works anywhere in the program. For example, you can define WES to stand for West Eastfordshire and type that into any text entry box. Create as many contractions as you like and have them stand for whatever you want. The program even has an analyzer which will identify words and phrases that you frequently use in your notes that have not yet been defined to be a contraction and offer to add them to your list. Each note can start out with one or more templates, which serve as a framework for the note and bring in information from other parts of the program. Each template can call other templates, either all of the time or based on particular patient characteristics, to allow you to create very elegant patient-specific documents. Templates can also contain lists of words and phrases which you call up simply by clicking on them in the document. Each list can call other lists, and you can edit them on the fly if you wish to add or delete a choice from the list. You can also dictate transcription directly into Welford chart notes or any other audio you wish to embed within your note. She saw Dr. Oculus recently for her eye exam, who told her everything was okay. Your transcriptionist can just click on the word audio to hear the dictation and transcribe it. She saw Dr. Oculus recently for her eye exam, who told her everything was okay. You can also type in @ functions, which are variables that are replaced with patient data. For example, you can type in @age, @sex to place the patient's age and sex into a document. You can type in @lab since 2 weeks to include the lab tests from the last 2 weeks. You can even create your own @ functions. Here is a list of the program's @ functions. Just choose one from the list or type it into your note or document. The Writer is a full-fledged word processor. Your documents can have different fonts, point sizes, and you can even apply color to make certain things stand out. The program has a complete medical and general spelling checker which checks as you type. So in summary, you can enter text in a variety of ways, including Dragon Medical, contractions, templates, word lists, audio dictation, and @ functions. There are many ways to customize Welford chart notes. Let's take a look at some of them now. Each user can customize how the chart looks. Each window can be resized and moved to any location on the screen. Each auto-open window is a live link to the corresponding editor, rather than simply a static list of information. Each user can decide to display any of these windows when the chart opens, and these windows. You can even create your own windows to open and decide what you want in them. In fact, each user can set over 600 different options within the program. And after setting up options for one user, you can easily copy it to other users with a similar role, who can then customize the options further if they so choose. Another feature which each user can customize is the toolbar, a set of buttons which give one-click access to any program function. Choose from over 100 different buttons to place on your toolbar. So in summary, you can customize the program using auto-open windows, options, and the toolbar. The program has a wealth of features to provide you with help. Wherever you are in the program, click the Help button to get context-sensitive help on the exact step you are on. Inside the Help, click on the Tutorial button if you wish to see step-by-step instructions on how to use that feature. The Help tells you which menu commands to use to activate the feature, describes each of the elements on the window, shows you screenshots, helpful tips, and links to related help screens. There are over 2,000 pages of on-screen help which are fully indexed and through which you can search for any topic. Click on a video link to view a YouTube training video on the exact topic you are currently viewing. Document Manager in Welford Chart Notes. The Document Manager lets you review scanned documents such as images, EKG. The Encyclopedic User's Manual has over 1,300 pages of information about every aspect of Welford Chart Notes and can be opened with a couple mouse clicks. The brief Getting Started guide tells you all you need to know to begin using the program. The program comes with over 500 pages of monthly newsletters, which keep you updated with tips on how to use the latest features. The tip of the day shows you over 500 ideas on how to use the program more effectively, tailored to your level of sophistication. You can practice the tip you are reading by pressing the Run button and can search through all of the tips for any topic. The guided tour introduces you to the key new features of each new version. The tour shows up for each user automatically when they first use a new version, but you can watch the tour at any time for any version. What's New shows you a complete list of each new feature in each version. Click on any item to see the detailed discussion. So in summary, the help consists of on-screen, context-sensitive help at every keystroke, videos, newsletters, user's manual, getting started guide, tip of the day, guided tour, and what's new. Throughout the program, you can jump from one program function to another by clicking on a jump button. Look up or record information in the other function and then return to where you left off. This is much more convenient and productive than having to back out of what you were doing to enter another function. Welford Chart Notes is certified by InfoGuard Laboratories for meaningful use. The Meaningful Use Report analyzes your practice for compliance with each meaningful use measure you choose. Measures which are non-compliant are highlighted in red. Double-clicking them shows you the patients who are not complying with that measure. You can jump from there into the relevant program function in order to remediate the non-compliance. You can read CCD and CCR files created by other meaningful use compliant EMRs and even import the information directly into Welford Chart Notes. And you can easily export a patient's chart in CCD format. Other meaningful use features include the CCD log, file encryptor, immunization report, patient portal permission log, setting transitions log, smoking status, and tuberculosis report. The medication editor is where you keep track of all of the patient's current and previous medications. You can see the history of when the dose was changed over time for any particular medication. You can search the list for a medication by meaning. Each time you add a medication or diagnosis, the program checks for any drug disease contraindications, warnings, and precautions from a database of over 12,000 entries. You can also look this up at any time. The program comes with a library of over 1,500 patient education brochures on drugs and diseases, to which you can add your own. The program automatically offers to print relevant brochures when new diagnoses and medications are added, and you can look them up and print them at any time. The program keeps a log when each patient has received a brochure. The program automatically warns whenever you add a medication or write a prescription if the dose you specify is too high, too low, too frequent, or too infrequent. You can look up the correct dosing for any medication and see the available dosage forms. Throughout the program, you can jump into Dynamed to see information relevant to the medication or diagnosis you are currently viewing. And the same is true of UpToDate. The program checks for drug alcohol, drug food, and drug herbal interactions automatically whenever you add or prescribe a new medication. Each user can adjust the minimum severity displayed to avoid alert fatigue. You can look up interactions for any drug and check a patient's list at any time. The medication summary is a complete referenced monograph about the medication drawn from all of the program's databases. The overdue refills report automatically calculates when the patient is due to run out of medications based on the last prescription, quantity, and number of refills, and thus warns you if the patient may be non-adherent with the medication. Welford Chart Notes has multiple tools to assist you in medication reconciliation. You can document the source of information and see a log of each time medication reconciliation has been performed. The snapshot shows you what medications and dosages the patient was taking on any given date. You can also quickly locate when the patient's medications were last changed, which is handy if you are trying to figure out what medication might have caused an adverse reaction. You can also jump to the visit when the medication was started or stopped, or view all of the visits when the medication was mentioned. The prescription writer lets you print, fax, and send prescriptions electronically. It automatically warns of drug interactions, drug disease precautions, inappropriate dosages, and if the patient is requesting a renewal too late, suggesting non-adherence, or too soon, suggesting overuse of medication, as well as warning if the patient is overdue for a visit or recommended tests. You can print, fax, or send prescriptions electronically. The prescription log keeps track of every prescription and renewal that you write. So medication functionality in Welford Chart Notes includes the editor, history, find, alerts, brochures, dose checking, Dynamed, up-to-date, interactions, medication summary, overdue refills, reconciliation, snapshot, visits, prescription writer, electronic prescribing, prescription log, and much more. The diagnosis editor is where you keep track of all of your patient's problems. The program supports both ICD-9 and ICD-10 codes. You can easily toggle between seeing active and all diagnoses and can use a variety of utilities. For example, you can search your list of diagnoses by meaning. The lab book is where you record tests, radiographic studies, and procedures. It's easy to generate graphs of your data in Welford Chart Notes a variety of ways. You can highlight a test name and click a graph button. You can also graph up to 6 different tests simultaneously. Highlight any test and you can see all the previous results for that test, then click a button and graph them. Or just type @graph followed by the name of one or more tests in your note and it immediately displays that graph. The program displays growth charts for BMI, head circumference, height, and weight. Type @growth chart followed by the name of the chart in your note to see that growth chart. You can also create tables of test results and drug dosages with abnormal results highlighted. You can import test results from commercial and hospital laboratories in HL7 format directly into the lab book. Flow sheets make it easy to keep track of test results, drug dosages, advice given to patients, and scheduled follow-up for a particular problem. The program comes with built-in flow sheets for diabetes, hyperlipidemia, and warfarin management, and you can easily create your own flow sheets for any purpose. So in summary, the lab book includes many handy tools, including graphs, growth charts, tables, and flow sheets. The program comes with libraries of rule reminders which automatically remind you to perform best practices. You can write your own reminders in plain English, and the natural language interpreter will convert them to structured machine code. You can even designate patients who are exceptions to the rule and references to the literature. You can scan your entire practice to identify all patients who are in violation of a rule. You can also arrange to have rules checked each time a patient's chart is open and respond to any of the reminders on the spot. Reminders let you document when you have reminded a patient to have a test in the future. If the test is not performed and recorded in the lab book at the appropriate time, the reminder pops up automatically so that you can encourage patients to follow through with appropriate care. The date book is where you can record appointments, procedures, and other events, both related to and unrelated to patients. Medication test reminders remind you to perform indicated tests in patients on medications if they have not been recorded in the lab book in the recommended period of time. You can arrange to see these automatically each time you open a patient's chart. The program comes with a huge library of these which you can edit yourself. The upcoming reminders window shows you all of the reminders, flow sheets, date book, and rule reminders that are due for the patient now and into the future. You can see the detailed information by clicking on any of the items and respond to them accordingly. Recalls identify patients who have not returned for a visit in a designated time interval or who have not had visits in an extended period of time even though they were not told to return at a specific time. It generates reminder letters and postcards which you can send to patients to remind them to have appropriate follow-up. It keeps a log of each such reminder. So in summary, Welford Chart Notes gives you a wealth of tools for reminding patients, including rule reminders, date book, medication test reminders, upcoming reminders, and recalls. The image utility is where you can store any image files such as photographs and EKGs, as well as document files such as PDFs and Word document files assigned to patients' charts. The program also comes with a set of anatomical drawings which you can use to illustrate locations of lesions or other findings. The image editor lets you annotate any image with drawings, arrows, and text. You can also paste or link any image into the writer anywhere in your document. Move it and resize it with your mouse, and use the image editor to annotate it. The Document Manager lets you assign incoming and scanned image and document files to individual patient charts. You can add comments and send documents to particular users for their review. You can also review PDF and Word document files that have been sent to you from other parties. Assign lets you assign passwords and access levels for each user of the program, for each function and subfunction of the program. You can even authorize access by provider, for example, allowing the user to edit charts of one group of providers in your practice but not the others. Once you set up these settings, you can copy them from one user to others and then customize them further for each individual user if you wish. The program log is an audit trail of each time any function in the program is used and shows detailed information about any data item that has been changed. Scan function scans your key security files to detect any evidence of tampering or hacking. The tamper log shows you whenever tampering has been detected. So in summary, some of the key security features are Assign, Roles, Scan, and Tamper Log. The program comes loaded with dozens of quality measures which you can edit yourself. You can quickly generate reports of your performance by provider. You can run multiple quality measures as a group. You can see a list of the patients who are non-compliant with the quality measure and jump to the relevant location in the chart in order to remediate the quality measure. Algorithms are branching sets of questions which help you to calculate patient risk or assist in diagnosis and management. The program comes with dozens of these, and you can write your own as well. The program automatically looks up the answers to the questions based on the data stored in the medical record. You can arrange to have the program automatically notify you when there is a relevant algorithm when you make a diagnosis, start a medication, or record a related lab test. You can easily view the structure of the algorithm as well as references to the medical literature. You can send messages from one to other users in your practice like an internal email system. Messages can be related to patients, in which case they are stored in the patient's chart. Users can send any sort of data item in the program to your inbox, such as test results, reminders, messages, flow sheets, prescriptions, and much more. Click on any item to view, edit, or forward that item to another user. You can even undo the act of forwarding or signing off on an item, bringing it back to your inbox and away from the people to whom you have sent it. Each user can personalize the functionality of the inbox. Anywhere in the program that you are asked to specify a patient, you can do so by name, birth date, or code number. The program automatically checks to see if there are patients with similar names, including nicknames, so that you select the right patient. You can record all sorts of demographic information about each patient, as well as their preferred formularies, photographs, emergency contacts, and insurance information. The appointment scheduler allows you to record appointments for multiple practices and providers. Different types of appointments are color-coded for easy identification. You can move an appointment around with your mouse or cut and paste it to another time slot. You can set appointments to occur with multiple providers simultaneously, and the program will automatically search and locate the next available open slots for those providers. You can even set a recurring appointment. Easily see any upcoming and previous appointments for a patient. You can print appointment cards and grids, generate reports, see your schedule as a color-coded grid, and view multiple providers or days at once. Welford Chart Notes has an abundance of other features which time does not permit me to demonstrate in this video. And that's just a few of the many amazing features in Welford Chart Notes. For more information, visit us at emirj.com.